So here we have the army list for the Crimson Fists. So the story behind this one is the Crimson Fist chaplain here at the front, who is the warlord, is marooned on this particular planet. He's still got his Fortress of Redemption that he's been operating from. He has the support of an Imperial Knight and an elite force of Devastators, more Devastators. His initial scouting troops are still with him. His personal retinue of Terminators, along with their transport and one lone Contemptor. And he's come well equipped, because this thing here has got 4 void shields on it as well. It's going to be a tough nut to crack. So let's have a look at the sisters. So this is our Sisters of Battle army, led by Celestine. I'm using my old model for her at the moment because I have got the new ones, but I've just not painted them yet. But we are using the new rules. Backed up by Uriah Jacobus. So we have 4 troop squads, 3 of which are in Immolators, 3 fast attacks, which are Dominion squads, 4 melter guns in each one, 1 in a repressor, 2 in rhinos. 3 heavy supports made up of an Avenger strike fighter and 2 exorcists. Really unsure as to what's going to happen in this game. So this is the table we're playing on today. We've already got the Fortress of Redemption positioned here, and the Crimson Fists will be setting up first, and then the Sisters of Battle counter deploying. So you can see we've got these lovely ruins, and the mat is from GameMat.eu. Check them out, they do some good stuff. So let's see what happens as we deploy. So here we have the initial deployment for the Crimson Fists and their Fortress of Redemption. There's an awful lot of nasty stuff hidden behind these 4 void shields. So I've counter deployed the Sisters of Battle here, right the way across the length of the table. There's an awful lot of melter in there, but I need to get up close to be able to do much to these high armour vehicles. Currently I have turn 1 as Sisters of Battle. But the Crimson Fists are going to try and steal, so let's see what we get. It's a 4, so let's go straight into turn 1 for Sisters of Battle. So just as we go into turn 1, we are playing the Emperor's Will, so the Sisters of Battle objective is there, and the Crimson Fists have put theirs right in the middle of this building here. So let's go straight into the movement phase. So end of the movement phase, turn 1 for Sisters of Battle. The 3 Dominion squads, which are here, here and here, all scout moved. This squad is deployed here with their melter guns. This one hasn't as yet, and moved at cruising speed. All of the Immolators have moved forward containing their cargo, except for this one in the middle, which is empty. This one here. And they've moved forward also at cruising speed. One of the Exorcists has moved slightly to get a better line of fire, and Celestine and the squad with Uriah Jacobus have all started to move forward as one big blob squad, leaving the one lone squad that belong with this vehicle holding the objective back there. So let's see what happens in the shooting phase as we pull the trigger. So everything has fired that possibly can fire, and it's been completely underwhelming. Not a single wound delivered, not a single hull point taken down. 3 void shields removed from the fortress at this end of the building, leaving 1 at the other end. But who knows what's going to happen in the Crimson Fist's turn. They'll probably pull 1 or 2 of them back up. So that's pretty much the end of the phase and the turn for Sisters of Battle. Celestine is still sat here attached to this big squad, which is probably about to get pie-plated in every possible way it can, but we'll see what happens. So let's move on to turn 1, Crimson Fists. Okay, a very quick movement phase for Crimson Fists in turn 1. The Imperial Knight here, who's affectionately known as Terry, has charged forward looking to engage the Blob Squad with Araya and Celestine in it. And we have the Land Raider has moved forward slightly just to give itself a better field of fire. Everything else is staying still, and I'm guessing there's going to be a whole storm of nasties coming the direction of the Sisters of Battle, because this fortress has been upgraded. It has Crackstorm missiles, it has 4 emplaced heavy bolters, and the twin-linked Icarus las cannon, so it's going to hurt. So let's see what happens as we move into Crimson Fist shooting phase, turn 1. So, end of turn 1 shooting phase for the Crimson Fists. My gosh, what a turn. This thing had a lot of bad luck, did quite a bit of attempts at this thing and one of the vehicles over here, but everything else just unloaded. This vehicle here has been destroyed, the troops or the Dominions inside have been popped out, and they're there. Haven't rolled for whether they're pinned, but let's just double check. They're not pinned. This vehicle's been ignored. This Exorcist has been taken down to 1 hull point, but not quite destroyed. This Immolator is stunned and 1 hull point down, and most of the Blob Squad have been killed and are about to be charged by the Imperial Knight that needs a 7-inch charge to reach me. So let's move into the assault phase and see what happens next. So end of the assault phase. Unfortunately, Terry the Imperial Knight didn't quite make it in, and when they rolled for the void shields on the fortress, none of them popped back up. So there's just the one on that end of the building that does cover the Land Raider, unless I can get inside the 12-inch bubble. And we just very quickly rolled for reserves, and the Avenger Strike Fighter is coming on. So let's see what happens in Sisters of Battle movement phase, turn 2. So end of turn 2 movement phase for the Sisters of Battle. The Avenger Strike Fighter has come on here, trying to position itself so the Skyfire Interceptor from here can't see it, because it's beyond that building just there. And then also trying to prevent the Contemptor from intercepting. Can't stop the Knight, so we'll have to take our lumps with that. But we've moved forward, looking to try and get some hurt down here, and with the FAQs that came out yesterday, Immolators have got a top hatch that one model can shoot from, so we've got a heavy flamer in there, so we'll try and hurt some of those scouts there. And then over here, this one's come round to bracket the Knight. Celestine's going for the charge, and then here finally the Dominions have jumped out of the repressor to get inside the void shields to try and pop some melters on the back of the Land Raider. So moving into shooting phase, turn 2. So end of the Sisters of Battle, turn 2 shooting phase, and it's been a good phase. So the Land Raider has been destroyed by all the melter guns. The Imperial Knight is on 1 hull point, and Celestine is going to try and finish it off in close combat. And then just moving around here, some of the scouts have been killed, but they've held morale, because they shall know no fear. And here, unfortunately, the Avenger shot down through and killed the Warlord, the Chaplain, and several of the squad of Termes, but they also have held morale. And there was quite a lot of fire that came in on the Contemptor, and he just shrugged it off as if nothing was happening. So we just got the assault phase to go into, and only one to do, which is Celestine and this squad here, coming in on the Imperial Knight. So we thought we would just film the dice rolls to see if Celestine on her first turn out using the new rules can take down the remaining hull point on this Imperial Knight, and then probably if she does, probably get blown up in the resulting explosion. So these are the rules for Celestine, and her weapon gives her +2 strength and armor bane, and it's mastercrafted. So she gets 6 attacks on the charge. She's looking for 3s. She rerolls 1 with mastercrafted. So she's now got 6 hits. So strength 5, we're looking for 6 attempts to try and get an 8. So 1 has failed. That's a glance, so that'll be the last hull point. Let's just see what the others would have done. Yeah, so she's cut the thing down, and let's just quickly resolve off camera what happens. So at the end of the assault phase, you saw the dice rolls, the Imperial Knight was destroyed. He rolled the apocalyptic explosion with the highest strength. A load of them got hit with the D strikes, but fortunately Araya Jacobus had brought in the war hymn that allows them to re-roll failed armour and invulnerable saves. One of the Gemini Superior was removed on a 6. Hopefully if Celestine's still alive next turn, she'll be able to bring that one back to life with the new rules. And a few more of the squad died. But they are alive for the moment. So that's the end of turn 2 for Sisters of Battle. So end of the Crimson Fist movement phase, the only things that have moved are the Termies have moved forward and the Contemptors come in around. The other thing that's slightly different is, it turns out there is a very tiny shot through this building at the Avenger. So I suspect this is going to have a go at it when it comes to it. So let's go into shooting phase. So end of the shooting phase, the Avenger is on 1 hull point down here. A lot of shooting came in here. Celestine is down to 2 wounds, and Araya Jacobus is still alive, but everything else has been killed. Of course, with the new rules, one of the superior guards will be resurrected at the beginning of next turn. So the only thing left to do is just to see if the void shields come back up, so, which we'll do on camera now. So the one at the corner of this building here, looking for a 5 up, is not. The one on the front of this part here comes back to life. The main tower, no. And then the last of the bunkers, no. So the main tower comes up, which is probably the best one to have. So let's go into the next turn, which is turn 3 for Sisters of Battle. So just to be clear, I got that wrong. It wasn't the tower one that came back on, it's the one at the front corner of this walkway. So end of the movement phase, turn 3 for Sisters of Battle. This squad have jumped out here, going to try and finish off the scouts. The Avenger's flown over, still has line of sight of these Termies. 2 melter guns here have moved forward. This one's moved forward to bring its multi-melters into range. Celestine's jumped forward. She was going to try and jump onto the building and have a go. And Uriah the Warlord has moved back together with this squad and joined up. So he's got some wound soakers. And then here, everything's moved around. We're going to try and melter this building. We're going to try and flame the Devastators, do everything we can to try and start pulling this building apart. So let's pull the trigger and see what happens. So end of the shooting phase. This building has been totally collapsed. There's 1 unpinned las cannon guy left. Coming round here, there's 1 Terminator left. The Contemptor managed to survive everything, but not so good for the scouts. So the only thing left to do now is to move into the assault phase, where Celestine is charging up to try and deal with the other Devastator squad. So in the turn 3 assault phase for Sisters of Battle, and as expected, Celestine destroyed the Devastator squad. Let's see what the Crimson Fists can do in the bottom half of turn 3. So with a combined moving, shooting and assaulting phase for the Crimson Fists, the Terminator that was here shot and charged at Celestine, but unfortunately he failed a 2-up save with Celestine's high initiative. Contemptor tried to pull the Avenger out of the sky, but managed to jink and save, otherwise it would have come down. And that is the end of turn 3. So we're just moving into turn 4 for Sisters of Battle. So as the end of turn 4 for the Sisters of Battle and the dust settles, the main tower of the fortress has been brought down and destroyed. The Contemptor was cut down in close combat by Celestine. She is mean as cat's piss now in the new rules. And the scouts were shot off and then died as the building collapsed around them. And then finally the las cannon Devastator there took a lot of shots to finish him, but he did go down. So that is the end of the game with a victory for the Sisters of Battle. We'll see you soon for the next one. And before I forget, don't forget that Imperium Gaming are playing at the No Retreat event in Gibraltar next weekend. We will be filming whilst we're there. We'll do a couple of, not proper battle reports, but just short reports on each game that we play. And you may have seen online that our first game is against Lawrence Baker from Tabletop Tactics and his Khorne Demonkin. And we're taking Grey Knights, so that's a nice match-up for game 1. And I'm hoping that we might be able to film a proper battle report whilst we're there as well. So, thanks for watching. See you soon.